If you go to work in mechanical drafting or design, there are a number of companies to work at, but some of them make equipment of various sources. And depending on what company you work at, you might find yourself having to design and draw guards to go around equipment. Sometimes a drafter can spend an awful lot of their time doing guards. And what I want to illustrate here is that, well, first of all, when you go to work, if your boss, you've been there a few months and so you know what's what, and your boss comes up and says, let's design a guard to go around this belt drive. Now, if you're something like me when I started out, that strikes terror because you think, I don't know what a guard looks like. How am I supposed to make a guard? What shape is it? What is it made out of? And so on and so forth. So do yourself a favor and start collecting images of various kinds of devices. And what I want to show you here is my collection of images of guards of different sorts. While you're going through here, you'll notice also incidentally are handrails and ladders and latches and other kinds of things. So you should collect pictures of those too, because your boss might say, let's do a toolbox with a latch, and you say, this has happened to me, I don't know what a latch looks like. So start keeping a library for yourself, and then when you need to design something, you just look and see, what have other people done? What are some other ways that people do whatever it is, like guards? So here for you are some examples of what other people have done for guards. One approach is just solid sheet metal, and I have some examples from various companies. Here's JCI, they make rock crushing equipment. Here's Peterson, this is a used piece of equipment. Here's in the utility tunnels under the LCC campus. There's an air handler with a belt drive. It's got solid sheet metal. Here are some more solid sheet metal guards. Now, in my opinion, this is a little bit harder to fabricate, doing all this round stuff and custom fitting it. Big old rectangle is easier to make, but your company may like this. Notice that in this white Peterson Pacific belt guard here in the lower right, there are slots under the bottom. Do you know what those are for? You might imagine that, oh, if this is out on the job site, there might be dirt flying around that could build up under here and clog up the belts. There might be water, might be raining, and water would get in here and that would fill up and rust things. So if a belt guard is solid on the bottom, there'll be some kind of way to let debris and water out. Here are some more solid guards. This guard here from JCI has a window in it. Actually, it has two windows, and these are not so much for draining out water as they are for allowing the maintenance person to look in there and see, how's everything going? How does the belt look? Is anything clogged? Depending on where you work, your company might have an NC punch or a plasma cutter or a laser cutter where you can make your own punch plate, which is simply flat sheet metal where you have your NC machine cut your own slots or holes. So that's what you see here with this JCI equipment. The good thing about punch plate is it's easy for the maintenance person to see through these holes and see how things are going in here. It's a little better than a solid sheet metal guard with a window in it. Here's some more punch plate. Here's some more punch plate. You can see various examples. Then you can also buy expanded metal. Around here you'd get that from Far West Steel. So expanded metal is flat. It's got diamond-shaped openings and it's flat. A thing called Graytex, that's a brand name. I forget what the generic name is. But anyway, Graytex is the expanded metal where each leg of the diamond hole sticks straight up. They use it for walkway surfaces so that if it's icy outside, you won't slip. So anyway, here are some examples of using Expandex, that's a brand name, expanded metal, and Graytex to make guards. Here's some more. This is a metal bracket manufacturer in Springfield. Here's another example. You can see that using Expandex or Graytex makes the machinery very easily visible. Here's some equipment inside the Weyerhaeuser plant in Springfield. See how easy it is to see the belt drive? Another kind of material is known as wire cloth, and it's made of pieces of wire that are actually woven like cloth. It's just that the openings are big. They might be 1/2-inch openings or 1-inch openings or whatever. JCI and Peterson both use some wire cloth guards. Here's another example. And here's some more Peterson Pacific wire cloth guards. Now, I have heard some fabricators say they don't care for wire cloth guards because it's fussy to weld. You have all these little wires sticking out and somehow you have to weld them down to flat sheet metal. You have to pick, okay, how every 2, every 5, what do I do? It's fiddly. I talked to some fabricators at Peterson and they said, no, they don't care, it's fine. So this is an example where if you're considering a wire cloth covering, you should go out to the shop and talk to your fabricator and ask them, how do they feel about it? Would they mind welding it? Do they like welding it? And find out what will work best for them.